I am someone who would like to have a confrontation.
I hate confrontations.
I'm in the middle.
It depends on how the person is coming and talking to me.
That's right, the tone is important, and for an impulsive person like me,
I'm somebody who can't keep things inside, and otherwise it builds up in my mind space, and so I just have to get out there and just get it out of my mind.
I feel I'm very impromptu and impulsive, so I just don't measure my words and I speak what's in my mind. And for a confrontation, you need to think, you need to measure your words. So I suck at it.
I think for me it's mostly being someone who would do that with very close relationships. For example, my best friend or my boyfriend or someone from my family.
Earlier, I was not someone who used to confront people, but now I do. It makes you uncomfortable initially, but then also it brings two people on the same page.
I hate confrontations. I absolutely do not like talking to people as much about problems specifically. I would rather find ways to solve it on my own than go up to somebody and be like, oh, this is what happened. I come from a very religious family, an extended family. And I think every time there's a conversation about going to religious institutions or whatever, I know I'm always backtracked. They're like, oh, Sharon, this and that and this. I know every function is like, have you changed your caste? Oh, do you still belong to this religion? Even though I want to get up and have a conversation with them, but then we're sort of inbuilt with this tradition that you don't talk back. So that sort of is in my head also, and I don't want to confront them. I don't want to have a conversation with them, telling them it's my life. I get to decide what I want to do, and I really don't think it's worth the effort that I'm going to put having a conversation, because what they're going to do is have another reaction, and then I'm going to have another reaction. Just to cut it short, I'd be like, I just look at them and I'm like, well, at least I'm here.
I think it keeps a relationship healthy. One thing I make sure about is the tone of the confrontation. It should not sound like you are accusing or making an allegation.
Since I was a kid, I think I would get beaten up but not go and tell my mother or mom someone beat me up. I'd just be like, it's okay.
If someone confronts me, I actually appreciate that, but it depends on how the person is coming and talking to me.
Sometimes it turns out to be worse than what it was.
It creates a lot of friction, I would say, because if both the people are not talking, we are just changing the subject again and again. We are not addressing the situation, we are not addressing the problem there and then obviously कितने टाइम तक ही चलेगा ये, कितने टाइम तक हम अवॉइड कर लेंगे. एक टाइम पे इतना फ्रिक्शन आ जाएगा कि the relationship just ends.
I have been in a long distance relationship for quite a long time, and I think trust is something which is very important when your partner is staying away from you for years. And if you have a question in your mind at that point, it's better you ask and be clean with it, rather than you make stories in your head and you think, which may be completely delusional or fictional, but some question has popped up in your head and you are thinking and overthinking, and long distance relationships are anyway very difficult to maintain. And on top of that, if you have these sidekicks coming in and disturbing that peaceful situation or that peaceful frame that you create between the two of you, even if it might kind of hurt the other person to some extent, you still end up asking a question, mentioning that I have this question or query in my head, but I feel that if I am clean from my end, my approach to the relationship would be much better towards you, or my behavior would be better towards you for the betterment of the two of us.
I'm okay with mid-level anxiety, but I'm like, isko chhod do. Instead of going like, ha, aise hua. That just causes a whole different world for me. If I do have confrontations, it is going to give me anxiety. If I don't, it's going to give me comfortable anxiety.
The comfort which I get from acknowledging my own feelings and knowing that, hey, I have a problem and there is this problem with this person, gives me the strength to deal with the anxiety which might come later.
More often than not, I think you have confrontations with people who matter. If it's my husband or my boss or somebody like that, and then if I have a confrontation with the idea that I'm putting my thoughts across and I'm being very honest about it. It's okay to have a different opinion, but if I feel disrespected in the bargain, then there is a problem. I feel mentally drained.
It takes a toll on me. My coping mechanism would be I just change the topic quickly. I just bring fun topics. Apart from that, last year my father passed away, and in order to be strong, I did not speak to anyone about it. So my best friend and my boyfriend, we were going on a drive, and they knew that I was in a phase of denial. So they tried really hard, they poked me really hard to make me comfortable and make me speak about it. But I did not, because I could not. I mean, I could not talk to my friends about what my insecurities are, what I'm feeling right now, what I'm thinking about my family, so I did not. Instead, I went to a therapist. But I could not confront it to my friends and my boyfriend and my family.
My brain needs another 20 minutes to like figure out what to say.
I let people be because it has taken time for me as well to become this confrontational person. So I don't force myself or my confrontation upon people.
I usually ask the other person as well कि उनका frame of mind क्या है वो time पे कि are they ready as well to have a confrontation? अगर वो ready नहीं है तो फिर point ही नहीं.
Personally, I think it's great if we just put it out there and you have a point across. And sometimes it just happens that you're two people who are completely different in opinions. And at some point you got to realize that there won't always be a solution. You just have to, and there might not be a middle ground sometimes. Then you just learn to live with it. Hey, there is no middle ground. So this is your idea, this is my idea. Can we live with this idea? If we can live with this idea, then it's great. If not,
embrace the pain, the talk, the conversation. Don't avoid it. Only then you can fully focus on the subtle nuances and behind the scene emotions of most people, because they are too busy being defensive and afraid. And if you can keep a steady hand, you'll be able to resolve anything.